Conan's new Pergola partial building set has a ton of potential, but with so few pieces, can anything really be done with these items? I think the answer is yes, and today I'm going to show you some tips you can use to get the most out of this small building set. Before we jump in, just in case you don't know what it is, the Zingaran Pergola set comes from the new Zingaran Vineyard bundle. It's fairly expensive, but if these pieces get sold on their own in the future, you might want to get your hands on them. You can watch my review of the bundle through the card in the top right. Now, if you already own them, let's dive into the tips. Firstly, material combinations, and we're going to keep it short and sweet. The Pergola pieces work really well with the following materials: Yamatai Tower and DLC, Stable and Lattice, Numidian, Khitan, Frontier, Flotsam, Aesir Part 1 and 2, and insulated wood. Also, I think the Pergola set works best on small builds, so a lot of these tips will lean more towards that. Let's get into the second one. Bottom framing is a great technique for Pergola as it covers a lot of its weaknesses. Quite simply, when you lay out your base, have the entire first layer be Pergola stone, aside from of course the entrance, which you can build with your secondary material. In this example we'll use insulated wood, and even though the Pergola lacks windows and any other flourishes, it looks kinda right. It gives the base a solid grounding and looks very logical, especially when the upper floors are made from a lighter material such as wood. Next, awnings. The trellis pieces are arguably the best part of the Pergola set, and they are surprisingly flexible. Firstly, you can attach these to the builder's awnings by just placing them first. They aren't replaced by wall or door pieces, so if you lay out the framework with trellis pieces first, you can then build your walls as normal and have these trellises act as awnings or sun covers. This is particularly useful for smaller builds where traditional awning pieces would be rather inappropriate for the scale of the structure. You can also stack awnings up to add a bit more framing and exterior detail on taller elements like a tower. This example works pretty well and gives a lot more shape to an area that is in danger of becoming a bit too flat. From there you can then use these trellises however you want. You can leave them bare, cover them with vines, or even throw other items on there if it fits. Sticking with the trellis pieces, interior shelving is a really interesting utility with these items. Just as you can place the trellises on the outside to add awnings, you can do the same on the interior to create shelving. This is a really elegant solution for workshops, storage rooms and such. I think it's great for holding boxes, jars, barrels, anything like that really. That being said, the only issue is, what if you want both shelving and awnings? Well, you can do it. If you instead use awning junction pieces, these will extend on both sides of the wall slot, so you're able to have awnings and shelves with ease, and you can build the walls up without any issue. Finally, with these trellises, they offer a really good opportunity to ground elements like wall ivy. I personally really struggle with wall ivy because it just never seems right to me or natural, but with the trellises, especially when they have the grapevines on them, it just seems right to lay ivy on the walls behind them, as it feels like it grows down from the trellis itself. If you always feel like your wall ivy looks unnatural, give it a try. I think it works nicely. Additionally, two honourable mentions. One is that if you have banners or other elements that hang off the wall, you can quite easily put them on a wall that is covered by a trellis piece. It can hide any of the clipping imperfections and frames whatever you've hung on the wall quite well. Secondly, wall trims work really nicely with this set. Black arcane stone brick and rough timber are pretty nice, but Numidian crenellated walls placed with the trimming trick are especially great. And that about wraps us up for today. Some useful tips for getting more out of the promising though woefully limited Zingaran Pergola set. I'd love to see this built up to be a full build set in the future. Again, it has a lot of potential. The dev team do take public opinion and desire into account when planning build sets and stuff like that, so if you want it, make sure to let them know. I'll definitely be vouching for it myself. If you have any tips I haven't covered here, please do leave them in the comments below. As you guys know, I always love to know the other tips that people use that I may not have found. Thank you for watching, and of course a massive thanks to our wonderful esteemed coffee cultists for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon. If you want to see videos early and support the channel directly, consider joining us over on Patreon, link in the description and pinned comment. Take care, and I'll see you soon.